Last night, the ABC broadcast its most disgraceful show yet, probably its most dangerous too. I'm talking about the ABC's Q&A, which once again was completely stacked with activists of the left, including host Fran Kelly herself, although that kind of bias is no longer unusual there. The ABC's given up even pretending to be balanced, even though it's meant to be that by law, being a national broadcaster that's funded by taxpayers like you. And nor is it unusual for the ABC anymore to preach the kind of barbaric us against them identity politics that turns us into warring tribes. I mean, just take this utterly bizarre example from last night from an ABC favourite, Mona Elawi, an Egyptian-American journalist who was furious with former US President Barack Obama for calling for a more civil debate from the left.
You know, this idea of respectability, this idea of civility, this idea of unity, all of these words, decorum, who invented those words? Those words were invented by white men for the benefit of other white men in systems and institutions that were always designed to be for white men. And so those who abide by the system, and Barack Obama was part of the system and remains part of the system. I also disagree with his wife when she says when they go low, we go high. No, I don't. If you go low, I'm going to come for you.
Yeah, women have never invented good manners. Hear it from the feminist herself. I've censored the foul language. The ABC last night didn't. Because, as I say, we're sliding to barbarity with the ABC pushing that slide right along. But last night, Q&A then got much, much worse. 4 of the panellists, 4, then defended political violence in their cause. In fact, 2 seemed to call for it, to incite it. And no one on that show, no one, including the host, said no. This obscenity started with this leading question from the audience, which was pre-selected by the show's producers.
When trying to bring about significant change, when is aggression and violence a better option than assertiveness, strong arguments and modelling the behaviour you expect of others?
Ashton?
When none of that other stuff works. There are many causes where people have resorted to violence as a way to finally break through and get heard and achieve what we need. And if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Okay, that's one panellist defending political violence. Here's a second, apparently even recommending murder.
How many rapists must we kill? Not the state, because I disagree with the death penalty, and I want to get rid of incarceration, and I'm with you on the police. So I want women themselves. As a woman, I'm asking, how many rapists must we kill until men stop raping us?
Okay, and here's a third panellist, appearing to defend past violence by activists.
I think if anyone's shocked by what Mona's suggesting, you just have to look back to history and a certain faction of the suffragettes in the early 20th century, they used violence.
And if that's not incredible enough, the ABC actually managed to find a fourth panellist for the show who also defended political violence. That's not quite right. In fact, she actually welcomed it, recommended it, maybe even excited it, seems to me. Here's Nayuka Gori, a race-based activist who identifies as Aboriginal.
We live in a colony. Like, we've tried for 230 plus years to appeal to the colonisers' morality, which just doesn't seem to exist. So I think violence is okay. Because, like, if someone's trying to kill you, you know, there's no amount of, oh, but I'm really clever. You know, I'm really articulate. No amount of that is going to save you. So
It's a tricky.
Let's burn stuff.
Burn stuff, okay. And how did the ABC host Fran Kelly, who's an activist herself, respond to these women who are defending violence, condoning murder, and calling on people to burn stuff? Well, like this.
I think that's a really good moment to go to our next question. You're watching a special broadside edition of Q&A.
Not a word of criticism. We are looking here at this one show at various things I've talked about, all coming together. This one moment on the ABC. A lack of historical knowledge, you know, white society's only bad, black society's only good. Then there was a lack of civility, that's there too. The rise of tribalism, that was right there. This us against them thinking that makes it so much easier to hate people and destroy them. And of course there was that overwhelmingly leftist bias in our national broadcaster, a bias so severe that the ABC could pick 4 panellists on one show freely defending political violence against our society and describing our society as vicious and racist and women-hating and murderous and God knows what. And this is happening, I should point out, under a Liberal government. They've totally lost the plot. Now, I'm for free speech. I do not want these women banned or jailed or anything like that, or dragged before a tribunal, as they'd probably drag me before a tribunal. But I certainly do not want these barbarians, these haters, these defenders of violence, I do not want them given a platform, an unchallenged platform, on a national broadcaster that I must pay for by law. The Morrison government here is subsidising hate and calls for violence by giving $1 billion a year to a broadcaster that broadcasts that. And it's not for the first time that the ABC does this. Not for the first time. There's a pattern coming here. Remember this, again from the ABC, just 6 months ago. This time the hater is ABC scriptwriter and actress Nakia Liu.
Sovereignty was never ceded! Come on, babe. Let's go to Sunrise and f*** this shit up! Okay! F*** a birth! F*** Whitey! Shit! On your colonisation. Hurry up! Oh, f*** it. F*** it. Burn this place to the ground!
Is this racism? Is this advocacy of violence? Is this crudity and obscenity on the ABC? Is this a sort of insight into our future as the ABC imagines it? Is this what the ABC was set up to encourage with your money? The violent destruction of your society? And I've got to ask, when will the dozy Morrison government finally hold the ABC board and management to account? Either hold them to account or defund the ABC and let these haters hate at their own expense. Not mine, not yours, their own.